That has to go down as the greatest performance in the World Cup since 1966. Hello everybody, welcome to Richmond Rovers. My name is Wes. I hope you put in the hard yards for the night shift, because what a fantastic game of football that was. England were incredible. I'm just going to go straight off the bat. England were incredible. A few changes made. Jarell Quansah comes back from injury. He starts at right back. Bukayo Saka and Anthony Gordon come in. Let me just say off the bat, we're going to be talking about Jude Bellingham in a minute because he was the man of the match. He was fantastic. He has been, other than Harry Kane, England's player of the tournament, hands down. But one performance I want to talk about is Anthony Gordon. He put in the hard yards. He put in the defensive shift. He was fantastic. He got a lot of flack, including from yours truly, after the Croatia game, but he was incredible in this match. I really rated Gordon in this game. He was all over the pitch. He put in the shift. He played the whole game. Incredible performance from him. Now, going into the game, Mexico had the huge home advantage. You can see that the fans were doing everything they could to tamper with England's performance, whether or not it was setting fireworks off by the hotel, playing drums and music all the way through the night. And obviously it was being held at the Azteca, so Mexico hadn't been defeated there in over 60 years, but that came to an end tonight. Come on. From the first few minutes, England understandably played conservative stop-start football, getting fouls where they could have been on the break. They were just tampering with Mexico, taking the heat down a little bit, making sure that Mexico weren't going to go all guns blazing at the very start. Mexico had a chance within the first half. They had a diving header saved by Jordan Pickford. Raul Jimenez with the header. It was a great save on Pickford's left-hand side. And then we get to around the sort of half an hour mark. Jude Bellingham scores twice in a minute and a half. It looked like England were going to go straight in for the kill. Gordon with the cross in. Bellingham scores the diving header. Fantastic. A minute and a half later, they go in for the kill. They smell blood. It goes 2-0 to England going into half-time. However, Mexico get a free kick near the end of the first half. There's a scramble in the box, and then Quiñones scores a brilliant volley to make it 2-1 going into half-time. And going into half-time, England's best players, without a shadow of the doubt, and for the whole game, have been Jude Bellingham and Anthony Gordon. I do feel like Jude is going to get, and rightly so, the plaudits for this game for his heroic performance. You've got to say something about Anthony Gordon. He was fantastic in this game. Second half, it starts with Nico O'Reilly and Jude Bellingham's combined effort to hit the post, and it looked like England were going to take control of the second half. Unfortunately then, the right back curse strikes again, and Jarell Quansah gets a red card for what is a rash challenge. He does win the ball, and there was a claim to say that it wasn't a red card, but after showing the replay, he goes in very high and he clips the ankle of the Mexico player, and it has to be a red card because he was going in, he dived into that challenge. He did an Ed Sheeran and dived into him. So England go down to 10 men, but shortly after that, there is a penalty that is conceded. Anthony Gordon wins the penalty, and Harry Kane converts from the spot. Shortly after that, however, England being England, Harry Kane concedes a penalty where he clips one of the Mexico players. There is an argument to say that it wasn't a penalty, because you can see that Harry Kane was going for the ball, and yes, he does clip the ankle. There was an argument made on BBC saying that it's not a clear and obvious error, but it definitely looked like a penalty. I was a bit worried about it, and it was a penalty that was converted by Raul Jimenez. And then, you know, as soon as England go down to 10 men and Mexico score their second goal, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at England, and they had to bring on Dan Burn, make 5 at the back. There was one occasion as well where Nico O'Reilly was very lucky not to get sent off, and Thomas Tuchel did the right thing by taking him off. It was just before the hydration break where O'Reilly and one of the other players, they have a little coming together. There was a tackle in between then. They have a little word with each other, and then you can see Nico O'Reilly sort of give him the elbow, and it wasn't like, you know, a proper hit, but you can see O'Reilly do that in the replay. Thankfully the referee didn't say that, because Thomas Tuchel just took him off, just saying, you know, forget that, you're coming off, Jed Spence, you're coming on. That was the correct call by Tuchel, because we could have been down to 9 men and things could have gone very differently. Now, the reason why I say that this was England's greatest performance in a hell of a long time is, yes, it wasn't the best attacking performance, and yes, it wasn't the best defensive performance by any stretch of the imagination, but it was the best overall performance where we worked as a team. We stuck as a unit, egos were left at the door, and it was a fantastic team display to make sure to stop Mexico having that advantage. And when they threw the kitchen sink at us, we made sure that we held our ground, and yet it was a bit squeaky bum time at times, but we held our ground and we got through to the quarterfinals, and we're going to have to do the same against Norway as well. Now I think this is going to be a very different game though, however, and I'll do another video on this, but I watched a game against Brazil, Norway versus Brazil, and Norway aren't afraid to play the long game. They're not afraid to have less chances, and they'll have possession, they'll control the midfield, and then as soon as it gets to around 75-80 minutes, this is where Erling Haaland will strike. So they will play a low block. They will play a low block, and England need to prepare for that, and they need to have somebody like Mark Gahey control the defence and make sure that Haaland doesn't have any chances. Of course, this is not going to happen. Haaland will be there. He only needs one chance. He took 2 of them last night, and this will be a huge test in the quarterfinals for England against Norway. I'm going to do another video in a couple of days, so keep an eye on that. What did you think about the performance against Mexico? Did you think like me that this was a fantastic performance, a fantastic effort from the team? And yes, it wasn't the best defensive and it wasn't the best attacking, but it was the best overall performance. Or do you think that England should have done better? Comment below, let me know. I'm going to go and get some sleep. Thank you so much for watching Richmond Rovers. Give us a follow, subscribe, give us a comment. What did you think? Make sure to let me know what you thought of this game. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Come on, England, let's go for the quarterfinals.